Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm back. What? Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me today. Today, we just gonna have a little chit chat, right? Queen Diva and I said, today will just be a chit chat. Hey, Kimberly, blessed Sunday morning to you. Blessed Sunday morning to everybody. I hope you are having a great day so far and your day will continue to be great. Today is just a variety show. Okay, today we're gonna talk about a couple of things, but I definitely want to cover this Tasia fortune hanging. Yep, you know it. Where? Yep, you know it. Is it becoming the norm? Mm-hmm. See, history says it's been the norm for years. Now they starting that lynching shit up behind the hanging. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Perez Hilton self-infliction on TikTok. He's hospitalized. And I want to really talk about a little Perez Hilton, which some people probably don't know him, don't care, but is a reason why I'm going to talk about him when it comes to the spiritual thing, when playing with God gets real, right? Like we said, Lil Nas X, now Perez Hilton. You know, I'm going to talk about that. Hey, Tay I wish I was able to do what I said I was going to do as far as the casino today, but I can't because my cameraman is working, right? My cameraman is working, so I'm not able to go. And I didn't ask my partner, DC, because I know she had surgery. And it's a long drive for her to come down here to, just tape for us. But I'm going to get you guys, even if I don't do it live, I'll do a tape of it. Thank you, Tay Bay. Please hit the like. Thank you, Tay Bay, so much. My outstanding mods, Queen Diva, Kimberly Black, I appreciate y'all so much. And even my supporters, all 7 of y'all, make sure y'all hit that like. So we're going to talk about this lynching because, see, now it's getting deep again like it was years ago. And I think it's getting deeper because no one cares. We care, but they don't care. And I said in my previous videos that the Nolan Wells situation was deep, real deep. It was connected deep to the elitists, the higher power, and then Freethinker came in and she started dropping the connections, the Proud Boys and Mr. Orange Man, the lawyer, Mr. Orange Man. That's why I said it goes so damn deep that even though our voices are heard and we keep it out there on the airwaves, we are like their local news, the, content creators, I still don't believe that it's going to result the justice that we want. I think the Wells family will have to just go for a civil suit. But now, is Mississippi, the alleged cover-up is there. So will they even seek would they get any compensation for their son's loss? No. And then, I want y'all to know this because some people don't believe it, but witchcraft, ritual sacrifices, and, dark magic, all that shit is real. It's biblical as well, right? But they doing it a different way now, but it's in the Bible. And the more I think about it, I'm thinking, what really happened with Nolan Wells? I'm believing that perhaps I vacillate from it was probably playing, it was an altercation that went too far to now I'm thinking, y'all know what I'm thinking. Was this like a sacrifice? But I don't want to make everything a sacrifice. But I want you to know some shit being done nowadays that's put right in front of our faces that we don't realize are rituals and sacrifices. And but for what and for whom and to go where? Most of them done nowadays is to level up to certain degree, right? And I told you about I'm a believer in the occultists, in the music industry, in Hollywood, in real life. It's so much crime going on. But then you got to think about it. It's in all our music, in heavy metal, in rock, and then in hip hop. It's implanted in your minds. And some of these people get attached to those spirits and they start acting out. That's why so much crime, because of these spirits, the principalities, things that we don't see, but some people don't even believe. Those spirits are getting attached to you, and then they're acting out. The demons are acting out, and that's what's going in the world nowadays. Is so much crime, dark, dark, dark crime in this world. And I'm sure it was crime before. Don't get it wrong, but now it's almost in your face. You constantly see it every day, all day. The music is influencing our children. They going out, they unenliven each other, just unnecessary. Not even just they unenliven kids, they senior citizens, just innocent bystanders. It's just going crazy in this world. And that's because it's so much demonic energy out there that people are reacting, their behavior is conforming to the demonic energy, right? It's all around us. Be very careful of what you attach yourself to and who you attach yourself to, because it's real. Energy is real. Spirits are real. Demons are real. What they say, I'm trying to see how the scripture goes. Kimberly go correct me though. The easiest thing that the devil did is to convince people that he was not real. Yeah. If you believe God is real, then the devil is real, right? And that's easy because a lot of people are not connected to God nowadays. Hey, Jilly Jill, how's it going? How's that move, baby? You all settled in? The Kids song has a meaning for me. Crooked, I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, hunchback, Mississippi. Now you know, though. Now you know. See, that's right there, Kimberly, what Kimberly said. Remember this song we all used to sing? Never even paid attention to it as a kid. Never paid attention. But that shit had meaning to it. And it still has a meaning to it. And we never even thought about it. Kimberly is thinking about, but we never thought about it. A lot of stuff is put in front of our faces that we don't even think about. But it's just in plain sight. We just don't get that deep. Okay, thank you. Crooks, exactly. Now, Mississippi, we're going to talk about Tasia, right? Tasia Fortune, 19 years old. She found hung in Mississippi on August 3rd. You don't hear the big news outlets talking about, you only hear the local news. You know why? Again, nothing is going to be done. They probably would say that it was a self-unaliving. It's easy for them to do that. Remember, it's easy for them. They've been doing it for years, except when they used to do it in Mississippi for entertainment, lynch your shit, and make a big deal of it. Well, a lot of that shit's going to heat up because who's in office is making it okay. Remember the Proud Boys and the insurrection on January the 6th? I can't forget that. Those people are partying. Those people are being given money. They're giving money to them. So you are saying basically it's okay for what y'all do. You're going to get compensated for, or nothing is going to be done. Any crime you all commit, nothing is going to be done because this is our justice system. This is our injustice system. It's not justice for us, but it's justice for them because they let them get off, right? 19 years old, just shortly after this Nolan Wells situation in Mississippi, but I believe this one was in Jackson, Mississippi. I was just talking about Jackson. I told y'all my daughter graduated from Jackson, Mississippi. She didn't have any problems down there, you know, on college campus and hanging around with her people. But that's a different demographic area versus where Nolan Wells was. How long do y'all think we gonna have to fight for justice the rest of our lives? Seems like history is repeating itself. You know, I believe there are going to be more hangings. Yeah, more hangings, more unaliving of colored folk, and nothing's being done about it. So Mississippi recorded more lynchings than any other state in America, serving as the epicenter of racial terror and violence directed primarily at African Americans. So history is probably about to repeat itself because we all know history repeats itself. Okay, scholars document more than 500 to over 600 documented racial terror lynchings in Mississippi, accounting for roughly 1 in 10 of as such murders nationwide. Good old Mississippi. Mississippi. Crooked letter, right? So public lynchings were frequently advertised in local newspaper. See, her murder, her lynching is only in local newspapers. It's not in worldwide. It's not in, you know, the ABCs, the NBCs, the CBSs, none of that. Only in local. See? So you tell me why aren't the other news outlets talking about this lynching? 19 years old. So we're going to talk about Tasia. Unfortunately, this has happened to her. Let me bring this up. Share the screen. I mean, what are we going to do, y'all? Where do we go from here? How the fuck do we combat this? That's what I'm trying to say. How do we really... You have to be very careful. Our kids have to be very careful on their surroundings. Who they call friends. Everybody is not your friend. The black girl that they lured over there, see, they thinking this is cute now. They thinking it's okay because they getting away with this bullshit. And then some say, or I overheard them say that perhaps the Nolan Wells situation was a payback for Carmelo Anthony. Very well could have been. Allegedly. And that's a possibility. They were hot with Carmelo Anthony. They still hot with Carmelo Anthony. So in return, I'll take one of yours out. But I'm not too sure. That's just some theory floating around, some speculation floating around. But it could be very well possible because on one of those YouTube videos I saw, someone said, yeah, that's the payback for Carmelo Anthony. Could be. Speculations. And here's the craziest thing about this whole case, right? We don't know where it's going to go, where it's going. We know that it's a cover-up, right? Allegedly, it's a cover-up. They covering this shit up. But I want y'all to be very careful because what happens when they start this cover-up, they start throwing chaos shit in there, just narratives, knock us off our game, right? Everybody starts spreading narrative. First, Katie knew, Katie didn't know. Katie the film, Bart did it, Bart didn't do it. The toe call is manipulated, this and that. They're going to keep throwing narratives out there. The other side now, not only, you know, people just hopping, the other side is purposely playing narratives to keep you confused, right? But ain't no way in the world I was ever confused when you didn't send that throat that long, that trachea, that high up. When you didn't send that, you told me all I needed to know. Uh-huh. You told me and others all we needed to know. So let the cover up continue, right? But like I said, this shit is so deep, is at the higher level. The higher level. So don't look for the justice that you think should happen, right? We'll probably know about years from now. So Tasia Fortune. Yes, 19 years old, Mississippi hanging. They found her hanging. But prior to that, they found another gentleman hanging. So they done had maybe 3 or 4 hangings this year that's not really being made public to bigger news outlets. See? So we focusing on Nolan Wells, that's great, but others are also getting lynched and hung and beat up and murdered at the hands of them clear folk, right? The hands of the clear folk. That's who doing this shit. I don't believe no other black person hung this little girl. Hey, Miss Sophie, I'm going to say this. More and more of these incidents has occurred since the person re-entered the White House. Absolutely, because, hey, DC, I was just talking about you. Smooches, get well, baby. Because he's saying it's okay. It's okay. We have the power to do what the fuck we want to these people, and there's nothing they could do. It's nothing they could do. And listen, I don't ever want y'all to get this misconstrued. I'm not taking our power away because we have power, but we need strong unity to enforce that power. And that's what we don't have. See, a lot of content creators should be talking about shit like this. They should keep it out on the airwaves. They should constantly talk about it every day, all day. It should be hundreds of Tisa tells Trent out loud. Poetic Flocko. Those are the ones that I know keep it out there. No justice, no peace. Protest, vote, write, and call your legislator. Most of all, unite for our common interest. Right. We have to be out there. See, because our voices will be heard. But again, it's going to be some bloodshed. That's what's going to start happening. It's going to be a lot more bloodshed. Okay? So let's get to this story because this is a heartbreaking story. It's fucked up. 19 years old, baby. What could that baby have done for y'all to lynch y'all? Nothing. Oh, they going to do it just more and more and more. Let's get to this. Oh. So, this happened August the 6th. The woman whose body was found hanging from a tree behind a vacant Jackson, Mississippi home is 29-year-old Tasia Fortune. The Hinds County coroner, remember the coroner, said on Thursday authorities have not said whether or not the suspect is foul play. How come? You fucking really think this kid hung herself? Absolutely not. The Jackson Police Department first announced in a statement on Monday evening that officers located the body of an unidentified black female at the 500 block of Road of Remembrance, a mostly black neighborhood at 9:05 that night. Neighbors in the mostly black Jackson neighborhood contacted police after finding her body, though it is not clear how long it had been there. So some say it was August the 3rd, some say it was August the 6th, right? It was August the 3rd, right? Hinds County Coroner Jeremy Howard, I'd like to know who's Jeremy, who publicly identified the body of Tasia Fortune on Thursday, said either this week that the body would be transported to the Mississippi State Medical Examiner Office to perform an autopsy to determine the cause of the matter of death. Fortune aunt, Etta Avolio, started a GoFundMe to help raise funds to cover burial expenses and final arrangements. The GoFundMe, which has a 3,000 goal, had raised over 1,600 as of Thursday evening. Now listen, that's not a lot of money. $3,000. What kind of burial they gonna give that beautiful young woman? $3,000 ain't shit. It at least take 10 if you just want to cremate. But here's another lynching. Now, am I wrong, or the coroner, the medical examiner is the same medical examiner? Am I wrong? Right, Mississippi. I believe you only get one medical examiner for the state. Kimberly, is that correct? You know why I asked you, baby. I think you only get one medical examiner for the state. I think so. Yes, it's good old Stacey Turner. You only get one per state and one coroner. I think because when we used to call for body to be picked up, yeah, it's only one coroner and one medical examiner. So we already know how this shit got in, right? Because they already said, allegedly, that she always never found foul play, is always self-infliction. Hey, Regina. So we already know how this shit gonna play out. What are they gonna do with her? I think Stacey needs to go. With the record she has, she needs to go. But will they get rid of her? No. Let's just break that shit down. Of course not. They gonna get rid of her because again, she's part of the club. She's part of the club. See, the club have to stay connected because there's too many deep down dark secrets that they have. You know, on the golf course, they make deals, they talk about it. They go to their own private parties, they talk about it. The secrets that they share, they talk about it. So Stacey's not gonna find that other than she's not gonna find that foul play. She's gonna say self unalive. And see, that's how they go get away with more of those. So that shit probably is going to run rampant in Mississippi now that happened to Nolan Wells and now Tasia Fortune. Now it was a black young man that had a hanging somewhere else just a couple of months ago, maybe last month or month. So that's just gonna happen. Mississippi go get fucking buck wild. Yeah. If anything happens to them, you could best believe if the Wells family seek a civil suit and they win, I'm just saying, if they win, more of this is going to go on. Because Dr. Stacey Turner, she's the chief medical examiner. So she determines what happens to them. She determines whether it was foul play or self-infliction. She determines that. And we already, from hearsay, allegedly, know she has a fucked up record, right? She always determined that it was self-inflicted. So what are we going to expect with Tasia Fortune? But the parents in them have started a GoFundMe, the aunt over there. You guys, if you choose to, you could go ahead and Kimberly, if you're not busy, can you grab the GoFundMe for this baby? You know, $3,000 is not enough. So that lets us know that the family, remember too, let's go here with people finances. In that area, I want to be comfortable in saying that they're not financially fortunate as some people in different parts, like Nolan well and the mother and father did well, right? This family probably doesn't have a lot of money. So they started a GoFundMe, but are they thinking $3,000 ain't shit? What are you gonna do with $3,000? That was your goal? Now I'm not sure what the aunt or whomever is thinking. So the aunt started it. Now, some people are really apprehensive about giving to GoFundMe's because some believe that it's just a money grab. Now, I'm not going to think that way. Hey, Miss LA, baby. I'm not going to think that way about this family. However, where did you come up with a number of just $3,000? See, I don't want to muddy that, and I don't want to re-victimize the victim or her family. $3,000. Where did you come up with that figure? Did you go somewhere and they say, "Hey, for us to cremate her"? Because that's definitely not a funeral. It's gonna cost $3,000. That's not shit. But if you want to go over there, I'm doing well, baby. If you want to go over there and donate to the GoFundMe, please, by all means, do. Now, you got them clear boys, You know, the ones in the Nolan well incident, the ones that don't know shit, the false friends. You have them who started the GoFundMe. And I think they started the GoFundMe to mock Nolan Wells' mother and father, that family. Why would they need a GoFundMe? But they have raised plenty of money. See, the queer people, they raised plenty of money. Nolan Wells' mother, I'm not even sure what she raised in her GoFundMe. They don't call it a GoFundMe anymore. They call it a Give me or something. I don't know. Maybe that's all they needed to add to what they already had. Jill, that's a good, maybe so. Maybe so. But again, Jackson, Mississippi, we already know, depending on the demographic area, we know Jackson, Mississippi, some of those people don't do too well. And that's why if they had the desire to move out of Jackson, Mississippi, some of them can. I heard a brother saying, this is all we know. Just like when that happened to Louisiana, and Hurricane Katrina. You talking about why can't they move? They can't move. They don't have the finances to move. That's all they know. You can't just uproot and move somewhere else if you don't have connections or finances, right? You can't do that. Everybody know it takes money, and it takes lots of money to move. They want 3 times your rent. They want a great credit score. To look for jobs, you in the field with thousands and thousands of people who's looking for a job as well. So you can't just uproot yourself and move. State employed forensic pathology medical examiners, thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Historically operating with only about 3 state medical examiners, well below roughly 12. I thought they only get 1, but thank you, Kimberly, so much. Thank you. But again, that's the Mississippi State Medical Examiner Officer is headed by Chief Medical Examiner Stacy Turner, Dr. Stacy Turner. So it's hard out here, right? People are struggling. People are struggling. So you can't just uproot yourself, And a lot of times in some families, and I don't know this family dynamics, the family is not doing well. Not just you, but your family members are struggling from day to day. So they can't help much because I'm not sure where that figure came from. But if it helps them, I pray that they reach their goal and for whatever reason. But the other ones, the clear boys, they don't need that money because they connected. They'll get anything they need. They not gonna even need representation. So that's what I'm saying. They putting out these false narratives. The motherfuckers don't need representation. They already found not guilty. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. They already found not guilty. But again, we don't know. People call at the most inopportune time. Well, they don't know. Like Diva say, I don't know if you're on, I don't know what you're doing. So that's where we got to come from. And so they'll go in these podunk cities and states and they'll run rampant. And what can you do? And I'm not putting that family down because, like I told you, I'm not putting that family down because I don't know their finances. I'm just saying $3,000 wasn't a lot of money, but it's going to happen more and more and more, you guys, so you can get ready. Now, when you talk about things like that, you got to talk about people's future, and their finances. I hope everyone has things in place for burial, you know, and you have wills and estates and things like that set in place. It's not that easy, though, you guys. It's not that easy. But make sure you don't leave a burden on your family, um, wondering how they're going to bury you. Make sure you handle your business. Now, opportunities are out there for people to work, and I'm not saying that, but it's just so many people are unemployed. So many more people will become unemployed that you really don't move. A lot of people get stuck in a comfort place as well. You comfortable, especially when you age, as you get older. You don't want to be moving around. You don't want to be changing jobs or nothing like that. So I don't know, but I'm just saying, if you want to go there and donate, I don't want to get carried away with it. So just go donate. Now let's talk about Perez Hilton, and I'm gonna tell you why I want to talk about him. Because last year or the year before, you know who Perez Hilton is. If you don't, I'll tell you a little bit. He was this celebrity guy. He always talked about the celebrities, and he would really be harsh in criticism, talk just nasty and foul about them. Well, a couple of years ago, he got really sick, and he would tell you that he didn't believe in God. God ain't nothing, and I don't believe. And he would make mock of God and just different kind of shit. He was just out there. Perez Hilton was really big when it came to celebrity gossip, and he was everywhere, right? Then you notice that you didn't start seeing him as much as you used to see him. Something happened that he fell from grace. I'll just say it like that. But anytime you mock God, you go fall from grace. It's just when you're gonna fall from grace. So he had got really, really sick, near death, probably like a year or two. I might have read this article last year. And he claimed that he had turned to Christianity because he saw God when he was sick. And so he turned to Christianity. He was trying to live his life, Christian faith based and everything. Well, sometimes you can't come back. God forgives all. God forgives all. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you just can't come back. So now he did a video, y'all, on TikTok, self-mutilating himself. And so he's in the hospital right as we speak. And he needs some type of surgery because he bled out so much. Now that shit was crazy. So you can't vacillate. You can't serve two masters. Don't ever forget that, for y'all that believe you just can't serve two masters. So you bad mouthing God. Then you say, see, when people mentally struggle too, they go back and forth. They're not stable. I would be inclined to say, and I believe he has mental issues. And when you have mental issues and they medicate you, you must take your medication faithfully to keep you balanced mentally, right? To keep your brain balanced. That's what the medication is for. So I don't know if he was going back and forth. I know he didn't become big again as far as celebrity, news and all that, because he used to be deep into it, right? So I don't know why he would get on TikTok and do that. And I think he has adopted children. I don't know how old they are as of now, but I don't know if his children was in the house. But yeah, Perez Hilton got on live. He's a blogger, we know, known for celebrity news and criticism, has been stabilized, but his injuries will require surgery, the family said. He experienced significant blood loss and sustained additional injuries that will require surgery in the coming days, it is said. His treatments and recovery will be a long process. Now, thank you. This is Tasia Fortune GoFundMe. Thank you, Kimberly Black, for being an awesome mom. They took the video down, but he did it live stream. So I was listening to Tasha K, and she was talking about this as well. Now, somehow she seems to think that it could have been for attention. Now, I'm inclined to believe that it wasn't just for attention. I believe he was having a mental breakdown. See, but when you dip and dab and you say you serve, the devil, and then you say you saw God, and then you dipping back in with the devil. I don't know what his situation is, but you got to remember those spirits attaches to you, and then you start acting accordingly. Now, I don't know if he was having some type of vacillation, believe whether he wants to believe in God or believe in the devil. I don't know what was going on. Was he having a mental breakdown, or was he just seeking attention? But I can't fathom that someone will get on a live stream and self-mutilate themselves for attention. But Tasha K, I think she said somewhat that it could have been, or she believed that it could have been that a teacher seeking antics. I don't know. I don't get it. But the Miami-Dade office responded to his home, reported it of a person live streaming acts of self-harm on social media. They safely recovered a person who was then hospitalized, office said in the earlier statement that didn't name Hilton. TikTok took down the live stream after automated moderation system flagged it. A company spokesman said, however, a moderator error caused a delay in the stream being removed, a spokesperson. So I'm not sure what that dude was doing. But I want to say that he probably was cutting himself. And some people suffer from being cutters, what they call cutters. Yeah, they self-mutilate themselves. They just cut. Yeah, there's a lot of mental shit going around. And a lot of people aren't being treated. They're not even being diagnosed because they don't go see about their mental health. So I don't know. Hopefully he's all right. I don't know what he was suffering from, but he was one suffering. Yeah. I don't know, a mental breakdown. I'm having my morning. I get this every morning, McDonald's, a large iced caramel coffee with extra caramel and extra cream. I don't know why. I have lost weight. I have gained weight. I am struggling, but I drink this shit every day, and I know it's not good. 7 days a week, I get up and get my coffee, no matter what. On my way to work or on the weekends before I get to cleaning, I make sure I have my job, right? So those some things I wanted to cover. What's going on. I didn't want to, I didn't have much to say about it, but the young girl, that really bothered my spirit. Now I got some other stuff I wanted to get into, but I thought, this is Sunday. But this is something that I heard about a long time ago, and I truly believe it. Let me see. Oh, there's no video to this. I thought it was a video to it. Wow, I thought it was a video too. But I told y'all I was going to get a little series going about the cultists, the music industry, the rituals, the conspiracies, not so conspiracy that's finding out to be true, them serving the devil, doing demonic acts and stuff in their music. And again, that is purposely done to influence the masses, the black masses, It's purposely done to influence us because long time ago, they had a meeting, and I think it was Pimp C talking about it, and they had a famous celebrity. They didn't say who it was, an industry artist. They didn't say who it was, but I'm just trying to take a guess. My mind was wondering who could it be, but I'm gonna leave that. Right? I ain't gonna call no names. And they had this big meeting, and they said it was at Clive Davis' house. Yeah. So it was revealed that it was at Clive Davis' house with some other big time industry J-boys that, rule the whole music industry, that rules a lot of shit, but mainly the music industry. And they were told that they wanted them to make music, but they only can make music. Listen to this. They can't mention Jesus. They can't talk about, God. They only can make music that will influence the masses about crimes and violence because they had a prison system that they were trying to fill that will make all of them money. Will make all of the money. And this was a true meeting because Pimp C, I want to say, not Pimp C. See, Pimp C said something else, but Dizzy Bone, one of them Bone boys that's no longer alive, Crazy Bones, said about this meeting. He revealed it on a podcast. And I truly believe that they had this meeting. And he left. Shortly after that, I guess he was no longer alive. Now, I don't know when after he read that note on that podcast, because he had it written down, what took place. And so we know that some of these people, like the Jigga, guess what? He's part of the prison system. Yeah, he bought into some of the prison system. So who was that famous celebrity? And when they decided they wasn't going to do it and walked away, he said, don't forget what you was told in there. You don't reveal it. You can't reveal it because some things will happen to you. So they told Crazy Bones that. Crazy Bones went on a podcast and he told it. And guess what? Crazy Bones is no longer here. And I don't know if it's because he exposed them and he said it, but I was trying to find it. But I don't know if it's because he exposed them, but the music industry and their secrets, remember, they are paid to influence the masses. And remember, we have young people whose minds not even fully developed yet who listens to this music. I'm going to tell you a story, right? Now, I'm not going to say who it is, but anyway, I had this happen the other day. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get this. I had this happen the other day. So one of my friends' kids got put out of camp, right? Got put out of camp because his father is a police officer. Do you even know why I'm laughing? But his father is a police officer. And for some reason, he went to school. Okay, let's think about it. You playing with these swords, you playing with guns, you playing on these videos, you listening to this music, and he a little guy. And he said, my father I will KIU. My dad is a police, and he has a GU, right? And we like, oh, what the fuck he said that for? So the parents was really upset. And I said, ho. I'm listening to y'all, and I understand you're upset, very upset. But you shouldn't allow them to play with GUNs. You shouldn't allow them to play those games. You shouldn't allow them to listen to that violent music. You shouldn't allow them to do certain things because those things are influencing them. And so when they go out in public and say it is innocently done, it's just innocently said because, again, they capture the minds that's not even completely developed. All this violence and crime and shit is purposely done. It's systematically done to destroy us. And if a lot of us will stop supporting this shit, supporting these artists, it will go away. But that'll be hard to do, right? Because we are all into entertainment. We just need to monitor the entertainment because music was the devil's trade. You know, the music was the devil's, that was the devil's ministry. Not only those are megahertz. So those are sounds going in your mind, right? And so you have to be careful of what you listen to. But I want to show y'all this video because I believe Crazy Bones. I believe when he said he went to this meeting. And they said this. I'm not sure. Hey, baby, how are you? Okay, say a prayer for me. Say a prayer for me, please. And you have a good day, beautiful. But I'm going to play this because this is for real. And he's no longer here. Pimp C said some stuff. And they said, what happened to Pimp C? Pimp C was going to expose some shit. What happened to him? Guess what? He choked on an egg. A boiled egg. A lot of them get pneumonia and pass away. Kim Porter, pneumonia. A lot of people, pneumonia. That one's easy. But we go listen to Crazy Bone because he said it. And then I watched another video and another artist was talking about this same music, this same thing, right? Was talking about it and said that allegedly, let me get my allegedly shit together. This is for commentary purposes only, entertainment, to entertain my audience. I don't know if this is factual. I haven't seen no concrete documentation on this particular thing. This person is saying this what he experienced, not what I experienced. So a lot of this stuff is, hold on. Come on, girl, get it together. A lot of this stuff is, get it together, girl, get it together. Allegedly. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, baby. This is just allegedly, right? It is. But let's get to the video because this is what he said he experienced. And I really wanted to do this, but I was like, wow, this is Sunday. Okay. Let me make this bigger. And let's share this. Now, I think y'all know Crazy Bone. I think a lot of y'all may know Crazy Bone. Hold on. Let me go lower. Let him go bigger, and let's go.
The secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation. Damn. So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for. Damn. Hold on, let me
So we gonna tell a story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, not scared.
Look, that black man.
So look.
He laughing it off, they after us, but you know, shortly after that, I don't think Crazy Bone lived. But let's continue. He laughed it off.
So he says, between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there. Right. Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap.
Let me make a correction. Crazy Bone is not dead, so that's the correction. I just read it. I don't think he's dead. No, it's Pimp C after he exposed something. Surely he died. But let's continue.
And failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, G.
It says,
Listen to this one, hyping it up.
quickly after the meeting began, hold on a second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, get your pistol. No,
For real though.
quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the resident, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable and the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
Now we know that the prison system is big, right? And we know that some people invested in the prison system. I got the disclaimer up there, but I'm still talking. We know they invested in the prison system. We know that the private prison system is $1 billion, just like medication industry. It's private, and they putting more and more our people in prison. So this is the shit that the music and the crime and the games and all that stuff is purposely, systematically done to destroy our race. And the reason why they want to destroy our race is because they don't want us to procreate from fear. That's why a lot of this shit is being created. But let's continue.
Damn.
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who receive funding from the government based on the number of inmates. The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become solid investors in this prison business it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies, and as employees, we also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene.
Now listen, I don't know if this is confirmed. Hold on, you guys. I'm not saying this is true. Miss LA said, look like he reading from a script. Yes, it does. And he is not dead. He's still alive. And I'm not sure if he exposed something like that, how would he still be around if it was factual? But it has not been confirmed that this story he's telling is the truth. So we're going to say is alleged. However, I'm inclined to believe it only because it has been said numerous times. And if you think about it, the behaviors of the people in the music industry seems like it has become overwhelming with crime and violence. Our community, crime and violence. But I believe him. Now, like I said, he didn't say who the person was. He didn't say who house it was. On another video I saw, and again, these people are creating videos. We don't know if they true or not true. That's why I'm saying alleged. I haven't talked to him. He haven't sat down and said, Mz.Teavalocity. Now, I went to this meeting, right? So again, we're just listening to a video that was made. I myself believe, because a white executive who used to work for the music industry said the same exact thing. And I believe his video was confirmed, but we'll get to it. But let's continue this. But you're right, Miss Ellie. It looked like he's reading from a script. You know, he got a lot of hesitation. But I don't know whose podcast this is. If this guy is credible, why would he allow him to come on his podcast and spread some shit like this that's serious? But remember, the prison has doubled. The prison sizes has doubled. We got more inmates. We have more Black folks in prison, Black men and women and children in the system now. And so they are making money because they are private prisons. And so it's easy to believe this story. But let's continue.
One of them pulled out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My colleague, who opened up the meeting earlier, hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly, or even those who attended the meeting.
Damn.
I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. And no, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences. We all protested as we walked back into the house. I remember word for word the last thing he said. It's out of my hands now. Just remember, you signed an agreement. He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property.
Damn.
So this meeting, bro.
Now that's a lot for a meeting right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and this person later on, he said, you know, this person actually ended up leaving the music industry after this happened. With a few years after this, he ended up.
Now, my question to you all, and I mean, you're welcome to put it in. Why would he lie? Why would he lie? And I don't understand, why would he come in public and lie? I just don't understand that. I don't see no reason for him to lie. Not to say that he didn't lie, but the prisoner pipeline, yeah, that shit is true, y'all. I don't know why. Hold on. Here I go with this again. Okay. Girl, I don't know what I be doing over here, but y'all still can see me. I don't know why he would lie and make that story up. You know, and we do know that that's actually what's happening now. The music has gotten worse. The crime rate has gone up, you know. So I don't know. And he said the artist or the person, they left the music industry. Like a lot of people, you know, sometimes I wonder how Jaguar Wright say so much and how she's still here, you know, because a lot of times they say, you know, they take people out who expose the industry, but not all people. Now, do I believe the industry? Yeah. I mean, do I believe, yeah, that they tell those people that, yeah, and they make sure, because I've heard other artists say that they couldn't make positive music. And if you notice, a lot of positive music don't sell. A lot of positive videos don't get a lot of views. A lot of positivity don't get attention, but a lot of negativity, and that's because they are infiltrating your mind. That's exactly what's happening. And like I said, maybe you believe it or maybe you don't. Those are demonic spirits. Those spirits are attaching to people. When that little Nas X did that shit, you know, and put the blood in his shoe and 666, that little boy went crazy because them spirits attached and you can't just get rid of them like that. You gotta have power behind that shit to get rid of them. So those people get crazy. They get so deep. They take on that image. They take on those spirits and they act in those manners, demonic manners, right? And they can't get rid of it. So yes, I believe this took place. Yes, it looked like it's being read from a script. I agree, Miss LA, but I believe it took place. And then my mind was like, well, why would he has a lot to lose if he was lying? Exactly. And then I was like, well, why wouldn't they take him out? Well, Jaguar Wrights come on here and say all kinds of shit. There's a lot of people come on here and say a lot of stuff. Cat Williams was supposedly exposing the industry. He's still here. Orlando Brown, he's still here. So maybe they just don't take out everybody because you know why? Because they don't want us to believe it. And they'll think just like some other people think, it's not true. Why would he say that? Why is he still here like me? He said all this, he exposed him. Why is he still here? People like me, kind of skeptical. Like, damn, this dude said all this and he's still here. Nah, man. This shit didn't happen. But again, we already know the prison to pipeline, criminal pipeline is a private investment. Yeah, for financial gain for the elite, which includes drug, entertainment, and the school systems are designed to pipeline. And you know what, Kimberly? Y'all, let's just think about this. Listen, school, right? School. From the very beginning, from preschool, because I owned a center and I told you, and I was very, very firm, loving but firm on my kids' learning. But the more I thought about it, no, but because I wanted them to learn and they did well too. When they graduated from my facility, my little center, they did well. However, even in our work life and our everyday life, you are programmed to do certain things, right? We are programmed. We are programmed to get up, take a shower, take a bath, whatever you take, get your lunch, right? And go off to work, off to school. In school, they give you what? They give you, you have to stand in line, you have to stand straight in line, you have to take turns using a stall, and I'm just trying to recollect from my base, take turn using the stall, but you have to stand straight in line. If you get out of line, let's connect, you get disciplined, right? If you get out of the line, you get disciplined. You use the bathroom one by one, and then you go back. You have lunch, you get a 30 minutes lunch, you sit down, you rush to eat, and then you go back to learning or playing or whatever, right? At work, we do the same thing. We clock in. For those of us who work, we clock in, we do whatever our duties are, right? You eat lunch, then you go back to doing your duties, you clock out and go home. You're being programmed to a system from the very early age. So when she says, when Kimberly mentioned in here, and the school systems are designed to pipeline, that's true as well. But I'm also connected how we always have been programmed. You in jail, now I've never been in jail. I've never been in jail, thank God. But what they have to do, they conform and they confine. They conform to whatever rules they have. They're confined in a little cell. They're let out to go whatever on the yard. Some get to go on the yard. They let out to eat. Then they back in line. See, when they say, everybody get in, or however they, yep, the time is up. They fucking line up. They line up, right? And they all march into the prison's doors and they check them, and then they go back to being confined again into their cells. It's all fucking programming, and we don't even think about it. And it is deep, and it gets so deep because the prison systems are private, and they make a lot of money, lots of money. And so I believe when he said that they are told, because he's not the only one, to make violent music to influence the masses. Because you know that, because once you influence the masses, they start acting out. Because those, again, believe it or not, those are fucking demons being attached to these kids, these adults, these people in general. Those are demons being attached to them, and they're not even aware of it. So they live with that day in and day out, and that's why they do all this demonic shit. That's why it's so easy for them to kill, because they're not even in their right state of mind. It's like an MK Ultra type shit. Yeah. Follow me. It's like an MK Ultra shit. So they don't even know, they're not even aware, they don't even have emotions or feelings. I read this story where these three young black kids, you know, I call them kids, they're younger than me, how they unalived this young girl, lured her somewhere to unalive her. Where's the emotions? You have none. Because these fucking demonic spirits are in you, and you acting of that behavior of those spirits that's entrapped in you, because you don't even realize what the fuck is going on. You under some type of MK Ultra. That shit ain't fake. That's for real. They know exactly what they doing. Television been telling us for years everything they're doing to us. Movies has been telling us for years everything that's real. But you paint it as a conspiracy because you want people to believe, they just conspiracy theorists, they crazy. No, they've been putting that shit in our face for years, and we've been ingesting it, not even thinking much about it. And the industry, I mean, the social media is doing nothing but exposing it. Policies and practice disproportionately push school children, particularly Black and brown students, low-income youth, and students with disability out. Exactly. And once you push them out, and you have them out on the streets, nothing to do, and then they get into mischief. And mischief leads to crimes, and crimes lead to prison. They said if you can't read by the third grade, you are doomed for prison. In the demographic area I used to work in, the children couldn't read past third grade, on third grade level. That's why when I opened my early learning center, I was harsh when it came to learning. Not harsh, I was firm. You played because you learned through playing. You developed through playing as well. Emulating, the groceries, the babies, the mommies, the daddies and stuff. But you learned, you had to read. You had to comprehend what you was reading. My daughter said, Mom, sometimes, oh my gosh, Mom, they only little good. I think you kind of too harsh. I said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm teaching my children because I was so disappointed when I came here and I was in the school system working, right? And these kids in middle school couldn't fucking read. I said, well, where did we go wrong? Where did we fail? And what is failing? How can I help the community? And so I left there and I opened the Early Learning Center. And it was my goal to have my little kindergarten, my little preschool kids, when they get to kindergarten, that they would know how to read. They will know how to write. They will understand a little bit about what they read. They will comprehend. You got people read that can't comprehend what the fuck they reading. It's important for us to teach our own children. So when people will come and bring their kids, and I had a waiting list because the area I was in, there was mostly adults. So it had to be by word of mouth, right? About my center. So I would have people come from afar to bring their kids there. And I have had parents say they didn't like me. Oh, I don't really care for you. You a little bit too firm or too stern, or you come across this. But I know one thing, my child is learning here. My child come home learning. My pre-K took a little bit of homework home. Color inside the line. Trace your alphabets, then freestyle, freehand write. Yeah. And the kids that I saw struggling when I baseline tested them, because I baseline test, even though they make us teach to a test, I baseline test my kids, and if they was below level, they had to take homework home. They did. Some people thought, oh, that was too much. I said, that's not enough because I want my children to know when they go to school. I want them to know. I want them to be ready. I had kids go to kindergarten and they say, oh, Miss So-and-so, we kind of bored. And I said, why are you bored, baby? Because they always come back to, because we already know this stuff. My job was to really teach them. Our job as parents and grandparents is to teach your kids and understand when you read, you have to comprehend. You have to critically think, what is the outcome of this? What do you think is going to happen? Make them think. So I think the system is designed for us to fail. My daughter and some other teachers, they get so upset, they said, because they have to teach to a test. They don't like that. But that's the system. There you go, Kimberly, the school pipeline system. That shit's for real. So when Crazy Bones said that, I believed it. Because we do have a prison pipeline system in the school system. And those children who couldn't read, and those children who didn't come to school in that particular demographic area, their grandparents were older raising them. That one of the parents was either in jail or not here, dead. They were living in a drug-infested area, crime-infested area. How the fuck do you escape that? That's why when it goes back to the Mississippi thing, and I said some people say, well, we live here, we grew up here, this is all we know. Some things you can't escape, especially a child. They can't escape their living conditions. So they forced to live like that. Now, let's connect that to the music industry. I told you the music industry pick and choose who they want. No, you just don't become a great artist. No. You are chosen. You are chosen. And they go in the hood. Most of the rappers are from the hood who want to get out of hood. And they choose those people because it's easy to manipulate and control them with money because they haven't had money or they haven't lived in a nice area. They haven't had fancy clothes, jewelry, and all that glamorized shit that the devil throws in front of you. Because that's who the music industry is solely ran by demons, the devil, right? So they glamorize that stuff and it looks good. And so they pluck you out, they put you into the industry, they change your whole appearance, give you a whole new name, change your image, they strip you from who you are, because you're not good like this. You're just a piece of trash. But we gonna fancy you up some so we could sell you. Negro. White folk too. We gonna sell you like this in this package. And that's who they get. Those hungry, starving, stuck in a rut kids from the hood. And it's easy to manipulate them. Some of their parents not even around. They can't even read the fucking contract. They just sign it. You can't even read. All you hear them saying is they're gonna give you $500,000 up front. Oh shit, I'm rich. And you just signed. You never even read the contract. And you believe this joker over here who's supposed to be what? The lawyer, the industry lawyer, who's selling you pipe dreams. So you go out and you spend all this money. We got you hook, line, and sinker because you want it out of the hood so bad. And you know everything is microwavable. You didn't want to take your time. You didn't want to educate yourself. You didn't want to do the right thing to get out of the hood. You wanted fast money. That's why they make that shit look like that. Because they need souls. And they sell you that pipe dream. And once people get in that industry, it ain't as sweet as you think. And that $500,000 that you got up front, you know, and that car they gave you, that jewelry, them restaurants, those flights you took, those spending sprees, you owe them. At the end of the day, you don't have shit. You broke. So you're a slave to a company, an industry. Now, sounds kind of harsh, but it's the fact of the matter. You're a slave to an industry, and we always have been chosen to be fucking entertainers for them clear folks. Even sports, everything. You still, at the end of the day, please believe what I say, you still a fucking slave to those folks. They using you for entertainment. And that's why it's easy to control some people, is because they have the power with money. For the love of money is the root to all evil. But when you trapped and somebody approach you and you're so hungry to get out the hood and to help your mama or your grandmama or your daddy, you're an easy target. They didn't just fucking Glorilla, they picked her. Sukihana, they picked her. Jay-Z, they picked him. Nicki, they picked her. Rihanna, over in Barbados, they picked her. And once they pick you and you sign on the dotted line, you're theirs. And you're going to do whatever it takes for you to sell your music, even if it's worshiping the devil, you're going to do it because they need you to sell music. They need to make millions. They still making millions off of Biggie, Tupac, Whitney, Michael Jackson. Them clear folks know what to do. They know what to do. They own you. And so when they own you, they're going to control you. Okay? That's just the fact of the matter. This shit is deeper than what we think. We just have to find a way to not conform to the bullshit that's going on, that surround us each and every day to help us fail. They just want us to fail. When they want to get out that contract, they say, oh, no, you're not going anywhere. No, you owe me 5 more albums. See, that's what you signed. They say Rihanna, allegedly, she don't want to make music. She just want to be a mother. We heard Cardi B cry, I don't want to do this no more. I didn't really want to do this. That shit ain't manipulated. See, they stay on TikTok and Instagram. You know Cardi B love entertaining the masses. She stay on, you crying because you don't want to do this no more. But you signed that contract. You took your family out of the hood. You living good. You famous now. But at what price? That's where the saying come from, you sell your soul. And you sell it to the devil. Don't cry now. You sign that. You wanted to be famous. You got, stars everywhere. You're getting all these awards. You got to produce for these people now. It's not that easy out. If you want out, it's just like a game. They just like a big, huge game. They just like a big game. If you want out, it's things that you have to get out. You have to do to get out. And they're not too comfortable. And if you want to keep rising up and level up, it's some things you have to do. Don't get too comfortable. And when I get sick of your ass, I'm going to dispose you, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Brother Love, Sean Combs. When you think you're bigger than the program, I'll get rid of your ass. I'll destroy you. And so, with that being said, you have to continue to do what these people want you to do. Because, see, that's in the contract somewhere. It may not be just like Mz.Teavalocity said, but that shit's in the contract. You break this contract, I'll take everything from you. I'll strip you butt naked till you running down. I'll make you crazy till you walking down the road like Lil Nas X, Martin Lawrence, I'm Kanye West, I'll make people think you fucking crazy. Now, you either do what we want you to do, or I'll take everything from you. They were so bold, allegedly, according to Kanye West, the guy who was just supposed to be his health fitness somebody, whatever, told him that he'll put him back on the medication and put him in the institution and he'll never see his kid. Who the fuck have control over you like that? You signed that contract. You said it yourself. You sold your soul to the devil for a Happy Meal. You said that out your own mouth. So these people are stuck. They can't get out. It's not that easy to get out. Just like a gang, it's not that easy to get out. The same thing that applies to people who live in the hood, who live in areas that's been there for years. They're not doing well. They're struggling from day to day. They are stuck. Sometimes you just get stuck in life. You got to find a way to unstuck yourself. These artists, they not going to unstick themselves for a long time. They ain't going to get unstuck, unsticky, whatever. because they're connected now to that energy, those spirits, and they can't get out, right? But you heard all of them. You heard Sukiana, you heard Cardi B, you heard OC Cyrus, Kyrus, whatever. You heard a lot of them say they just want out. They just want out, but they just can't get out. That's just for real. It's systematically done to destroy our race. And I think what happens is, I believe those people are scared. They scared of us. Yeah. They scared that we gonna become powerful. They scared, and we gonna raise up as the people. So that's why they even destroy us, as far as being united. Now, I'm gonna show you this last video, and then I'm gonna drop the link. Or there are so many examples in history, it can't be denied. Money, power, manipulation, control many of these industries. I can't find this pyramid. I'm trying so hard. If anybody know and they can help me, I think I'm gonna reach out to this guy and ask him, can I share his video and can I get that pyramid? But it tells you where it starts from the top, like the Rothschilds, the Vatican, what's his name, the Vanderbilt, and it goes down, 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 and we're at the very bottom, and those are the strings that they have puppeteering. But Lil Tony, now, again, I researched this. I don't know if this factual, but it's very interesting. And this is a Christian station where this Lil Tony guy at tells his story on this, right? Again, y'all, I'm going to put allegedly. This is coming from Lil Tony, right? I'm going to play this clip. And listen to this. And I want y'all to listen who name that he says. Again, once you expose the industry, you'll never, ever get into it. And if you ever wonder why there's only one-hit wonders, some of those people don't want to sell their soul. We heard Terrence Howard say it in a video I did last week. Certain things you have to do to level up in that industry. But let's listen to Lil Tony. I'm not going to play the whole 10 minutes, so don't miss T. But y'all know I do videos over here, and we react to them. But this is interesting as hell. Heck. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, this is it. Now, he was on this Christian podcast, all right? Oh no, that ain't what I want to do.
Can you like they booked me for a photo shoot. This is what made me start getting into God right before I got locked up again.
Yeah.
This is how I knew God was talking to me though. I was straddling the fence still on belief. This is why I was telling you I didn't know what to believe because I was getting into all the spirituality. I ain't know what to believe. And God sent me a real encounter. So I went up. I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. They got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them like, how y'all get all this money? How y'all do this? They like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. Like, no, you don't, bro. Like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, nah, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what type of demonic rituals? He say, the Illuminati never talk to you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at him. Like, bro, you playing a game. Like, why y'all playing with me? Stop playing. Like, how y'all getting this money? You're like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what?
Now, he said, hey, T. Danielle, he said the person's name. Again, this is alleged. I went back to see if I could see if this was confirmed that this actually happened. And no, I couldn't confirm it. They said the story going around, a narrative that he's speaking about, but this is his story. And he's on a Christian podcast. You know, I think the one Nicki Minaj went on to because she's changing her ways, but let's continue.
I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang? He was like, he giving me a list of people who all did it, I'm gonna keep it PG-13. He was basically saying either you let them peg you or you do oral, and you'll get whatever you want. Tell them what you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody, and all you gotta let them do is just do what they want to do to you, just for a night. Do some gay, basically do some gay. That's what he was telling me. I'm like, hell no, you playing the game. You playing. So I'm still not trying to believe this. And he like, this when they get to laughing, they like, oh, we need to take him to the booty club. Stop playing with me, bro. He like, bro, I can make it happen. Now, while they doing all this, I'm trying to call my Uber. We on top of the mountain though. So I don't got no service. So I'm like, all right, I see which one needs to work on me. They take off. The people who booked me, they take off. Like I tell them, I'm like, all right, y'all can take me to y'all Korean barbecue. I'm telling them this. Cause they were telling me, they was like, when I start calling my Uber, my flight was finna take off. So they was like, man, your flight finna take off anyway. Let us just get you a hotel and you can come get some food out of our Korean barbecue. I'm like, at first I was like, nah. But then I ain't had no service to get downstairs. I mean, get down the hill.
Right.
So I'm telling them, take me down to the bottom of the mountain. When I'm not telling them this, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna let them take me to the Korean barbecue. Then when we get down there, I'm gonna just call me an Uber and go. So I tell them, like, take me down to the Korean barbecue. They're like, okay, Shmoo, good. Okay, boom. The people who booked me left. After they leave, I'm in the car with the other dude that they called up to have a photo shoot with me or take pictures, because he come up and he like to take pictures with celebrities to make him look like he was rich or famous. I get in the car with him in the 3-seater McLaren. This man, as we going down, see, on the way up, we go all the way up, like in the swivel, like all the way around the mountain.
Yeah.
On the way down, we take a right. So he not going the same way that we came up. So I'm like, what the hell? So then that's what I try. I'm like, okay. I'm like, take me to go get some McDonald's, gang. I'm like, I want to go get some McDonald's. He said, we're not going to take you to get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. It's face change, gang. In front of me. You see Venom? Like,
Yeah. Like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, from Spider-Man.
Kind of like that. It wasn't like OD, like long, like veins, OD long out his face. It was probably about this wide. Like, face change. I'm like, what the? Like, it's probably about like right here. Like, all I can say.
Now, I'm going to show you another video where this entertainer, and y'all know Jaquan. Remember Tipsy? Everybody in the club get Tipsy. You notice you don't hear from Jaquan again? I'm going to play a video when this boy, you see where this boy just said, look like his face changed? We going to relate that to Jaquan's video, but let's continue.
Bro, it was like, kind of like the Sandman. Like how you'll see somebody morph into something.
Yeah.
It's like that. It threw me all the way off. So I'm confused now. I'm like, okay. I didn't know how to get out the car. I would have been got out the car. We in the 3-seater McLaren, so it's like a button you got to push to get up out of there.
Gotcha.
So he backing in. Now he backing into somebody driveway. He smack a mailbox. So now he hit the button and he get up out of there. He hit the button and get up out of there. I see the button. I'm getting up out of there too. I hit the button. Guess what? It's a mailman come out of nowhere. I run up to him. I'm like, hey, bro, let me get in the back of your truck. He looking at me like, well, yeah, no. I look at him. I'm like, bro, just let me get in the back of your truck, bro. Like, please, just take me down. Take me down to the bottom. Please, just take me down to the bottom. It was God. He took me down to the bottom. I'm like, if I was him, I wouldn't have took me down to the bottom. Some random trying to get in the back of my truck. Hell no. He took me down to the bottom, and I called an Uber, and I just left. The whole thing was just, I felt it in my spirit. As soon as I got up to the top of that mountain, it was something off.
Something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never seen no motion like that. Like, where I'm from, like, 100,000, that's smooth. Like, we hunt, that's hood rich. You get you 100,000, you up. 100,000, get you a nice car, a little spot, you good. But these folk having real money.
So you knew, like, based on their stats, that there was something wrong.
It wasn't even that. It was the fact of how, when I got up there, first of all, that whole mountain just felt funny. Then, when it was time for me to go, it started kicking in. When I was trying to get my Uber, and I seen that they had me at the top of the mountain, no service, no nothing. And they came up here. Out of everybody, they came up to the one spot. I'm like, man, hell no.
You knew something.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know this to be factual. Again, this is the video I ran across, but he's not the only one who have said that, but he mentioned the name. And in some other videos, again, I didn't research this. These are videos I came across that was very interesting to me because I believe they real. I believe this guy, Lil Tony, I looked him up, probably did experience it. Now, he said a name. This person ain't the first time, his name ain't the first time I heard about Leo DiCaprio. I'm just saying. It's not the first time that I heard that he was mixed up and he was like allegedly a gatekeeper. And that things have to be done. Things have to be done. I want to make sure I say this right. To him, surrounding him, or for him, and the other gatekeepers in the industry. And now, he talked about what confused me, though, when I kind of caught on to it, or maybe I'm wrong. He said when he got down from the mountain, he saw a mailman, right? And he begged him, let me get in the back of your vehicle. Please, bro, just let me get in the back. And then I thought he said they were still on a mountain and he saw the mailman. I could be confused. I probably heard wrong. However, let's focus on this. $100,000, man. It's hood rich. I mean, shit, we like hood rich, $100,000. You hear what that young brother said, a young artist. I don't know how he got there, to meet these people, his connection, but you heard what he said. That happens to a lot of them. $100,000, we rich, we hood rich. Man, we could do a whole lot with that. That's what get them, the money portion. So if $100,000, it ain't shit to me. It may not be shit to you. Yeah, it'll help us, but it ain't like, damn, now we hood rich. No, we don't have that mentality, but a lot of them do. And so that was that brother's story. But I want to talk about the face because let me get to Jaquan. Jaquan said the same thing, that the faces in the audience. This is where I'm telling you this demon shit, these spirits. This shit is rituals. It's crazy. But I want to play Jaquan right quick. Just hold on, y'all, because he's going to say the same thing about faces, the faces in the audience. Let me find him. The most scared rappers y'all know. Oh, here it is, y'all. Listen to him. He say the same freaking thing. His shit is only 3 minutes, but listen to this. This shit is real, y'all. These people are experiencing. I don't think they just spread narratives, making up lies or nothing. I really don't. But this is a real short one. But listen to what Jaquan said. And you don't see Jaquan anymore in the industry, period, right? So let's go. I think this is it. I hope I got the right clip. No. I think I got the wrong clip. No.
How did the industry situation turn into a myth? It really didn't. If anything, it tried to take man's stripes from me. I literally had no label. Arista gone. It came out under Arista. Arista completely shut down. No label. Done. Jaquan don't have a deal at all. Tipsy out. Hood hop out. The album is out. Gold plat. That's what they gave me first day.
Wow, platinum.
No label. No one to call. What's going on with my video? Do I get a next video? You call. Doo-doo-doo. This number is no longer in. Done. No label. Ain't that crazy? I've never seen nothing like this. Sometimes you're just so big, you know what I'm saying? The devil be trying to come out through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to shut this down. Yeah. And even in the industry, I used to look out into the crowd, and I promise, I know you're gonna think I'm lying to you. I used to look out and see faces change. Everything felt demonic. Spiritually. Nothing felt right. Family running through my accounts. I'm paying everybody. This is not real. I think people get me confused. Did you not just hear me say at 13, 12, 13, I left my mama crib, I'm in the car? Like, did you not just hear me say I had to sell drugs, literally start from a double up, 2 for $20 to even eat? You know what I'm saying? This is cakewalk. Y'all shouldn't have gave me nothing. Y'all messed up now. And I got my, and listen, and I got my chance to be seen, be heard. I'm cool. Now I'm just being greedy. Like, for real, and that's just what it comes down to. That album sold and promoted itself. I had no label. You know what I mean? That was, thank you. I just felt at peace. You know, I enjoy myself. And none of this would have been possible without God. I've been in the business so long, you can survive. And people need to know that. You know, don't let these people brainwash you and tell you what cannot be done. They cracked the mold. They cracked the mold and they made me. I'm quick.
Now, he said, I look out in the crowd and faces change. That shit was like demonic. You got Lil Tony saying, man, when I looked at him, the face changed. What are they around? What's happening in this industry? You hear people say all the time, you know, they got to change. They have to morph into this different person. Beyonce, she has to morph before she go on. A different entity enters her body. Sasha Fierce. Y'all still think that shit fake? When they admitted, she said, Sasha Fierce have to enter my body, and then I just start performing when I see the crowd. Sasha just comes out. Nicki Minaj, remember her? She had an alter ego. I forgot. Nicki Minaj is she had an alter ego. She said it just takes over her body. I heard Denzel Washington say that he has to reach a level that he has to have a separate entity take over him for him to act. For him to cry, for him to get into the role, he has to focus on a different entity that enters his body. Many celebrities have said a separate entity enters their body so they can perform. Y'all still think that shit ain't real? You still think demons ain't real, spirits aren't real? That these people have spirits inside of them? And that's why it's easy for them to do this shit, because they got them demons taking over their body? Y'all better go on, because I believe it. That makes me think of Travis Scott, the Astral Massacre. Kimberly, I was going to get to Travis Scott. Remember, I talked about it last week. That was sacrifices. That was a ritual. Those people died as sacrifices. And look how he rose. But then I don't know what Travis Scott doing now. But that stuff like that, you guys, they use these signs, these symbols, they use the colors, red, black, and white, different colors that captures your mind. It's like you go into a trance sometimes. That MK Ultra bullshit I talk about. It is embedded in your mind, your spirit, your soul. You have to watch what you connect yourself to. I remember when I was over in YouTube and the other part of YouTube, sometimes I couldn't fucking sleep. And I'm all over the place. I'm like, what is going on? Because I was doing something I really didn't want to do. I can do it, but something had to take over me to make me act like, sometimes how to get down and stuff. But I'm not saying this for everybody, you guys. I just want you to know that spirits and demons and energy and God is real. God, first and foremost, is real. You have to be careful what you attach yourself to, what you get into. In order for you to act a certain way, put those up there, and you do demonic shit and you want to bring harm to people and you commit crimes and you connected to violence, or something is spiritually wrong with you. Something is inside of you. Normal people just don't do shit like that. Want to always bring harm to people. To do harm, right? To go out and do some of these acts. Something have to be spiritually wrong with you. You are broken. Something have possessed your body that you may not even be aware of. This shit ain't no joke. We in the spiritual warfare. Principalities. It's a lot going on. I don't want to bring harm to no one. Really. And I know I revert back to this story of my granddaughter because I was watching YouTube. I was relaxing. And you was in that sector and they hollering, screaming, hollering, doing all that, and just different shit was happening. And it was easy for me. But even me, who I am, I do what I have to do if you try to bring harm to me or my family. I can get like that. Remember? I can get like that. We all can. First thing, hey, bring that bitch, get in, stab them up, leave them in front. That's not no way to think. But because sometimes your mind get off a track because what you're connected to, what you got going on, what you listening to, what you seeing, it fucks with your mind. Like I said, it was nice that I couldn't sleep. I had to focus on what I was going to get up and have to say to somebody for saying something about me. You don't know me. You don't know nothing about me. We not even there. This is YouTube. This is social media. But this is our everyday lives. And it's real. It plays an intricate part on who you are sometimes. Right? So Diva and I was talking and she was like, oh, Teav, I'm glad we don't do that. She said, cause shit, sometimes, girl, I used to lose sleep. And I used to say I'm losing sleep. What the fuck is going on? Because that energy, they was trying, my spirit was being attacked. I wasn't focusing on what I should have been focusing on. So it was just crazy. So that stuff is real. I believe when Jaquan said that he would look out in the crowd and he would see faces. I believe Lil Tony said when he didn't want to do what they want to do, the faces change. That's why some of these artists trapped in this contract, trapped in this industry, being ran by demons. That's why they have to stay high, allegedly. That's why they drink so much. They snip the little white stuff. They take the little pill. You got to stay high. You done locked yourself into a spirit and you want the money and the fame so bad, you don't even know how to get out of that shit. So you have to stay high to entertain the masses. This shit gets real deep. It gets real deep. And it is some very, very strong people out there who was approached by people or who have been in the arena with these people and they were strong enough to say no. But a lot of people are weak and they buckle at the fact that they could get money. Hey, Liz, I've been thinking about you. I haven't seen you. I said, now, Liz normally visit me. Hey, sugar, hope all is well. I've been thinking about you for a couple of days. I hope everything is all right because sometimes when people get on my spirit, it's the trap, poor kid. When people get on my spirit, I have to know that they are all right. I'm glad you are all right. Poor kids. So it's a trap. And you're right, it's a trap and they trap and they can't get out. So like Terrence Howard, say once they take your manhood or they make men run through women so they could be part of whatever rituals they do with them, they're no more themselves. They just got to keep smiling and dancing and tap dancing and doing all this shit. They got to keep doing it because they're stuck. They stuck in that contract. So the more you get high, the more these, spirits is liquor spirits. You done heard them say that. The wine and spirits store. People just take that light. Oh, the wine and spirits. No, spirits. Liquors are spirits, right? The more they perform, the more they have to get high. You have to. You have to keep that up. You have to keep that euphoric feeling because when all those fans are screaming your name and you got to go out there and you got to push this energy. In some cases, you have to be high. How the fuck you stay up all night? Stay up all night, 2 and 3 nights, making music, writing music, doing videos because you have help. Yeah, you have help. And it ain't the help that we think. I mean, it's not the help that we want, but you have to have help. That's sad. It's sad, but they are certainly trapped. And they trying to win more souls. And that's why it's a spiritual warfare. Because the devil are trying to win more souls. And a lot of this stuff is connected to that. And then it gets even deeper. It gets even deeper, y'all. And something is telling me, and I'm going to pray on this, but something is telling me to stay away from where I really want to go with some of this stuff. We're going to do the occultism. Occultism, and you'll see who these people attached to. I don't know. I probably do it anyway because I am who I am. You either like me or you don't. You either sub to me or you don't. You can unsubscribe. Every day I come on, y'all, I have less and less subscribers. But see, I know that I'm in the area where I have to pick up subscribership at. I'm different, right? I'm doing something different. So I know that. So I have patience with it. And I know God will increase my territory, right? As long as I do stay on the straight path that I'm going, the direction I'm going. Hey, TC, I enjoy coming and being on YouTube. Like I said, this is a family for us, and there's a connection, and so I enjoy, like I said, honestly, for about a week, I've been thinking about Liz. I said, now she normally stops in my lives, and I know people don't have, what's happening, TC? I know people don't have, I don't have their notices because I haven't been on a while, and I'm trying to get a little better. But like I said, I'm going to talk about the occultism and the connection it has to the music industry. Like I said, a lot of signs and symbols are part of occultism in the music industry. A lot of the videos, like I said, I've been watching over on the other side, this conspiracy side or celebrity side or whatever. And something really bothered me. Dios mi amigos. Oh, look at her showing off. It was the Ariana Grande, latest Ariana Grande, her latest video. Very demonic, very telling. Hers and what's the other little girl? The cute little girl has something that happened to. I watched both of their videos. Katy Perry. And I remember I played a clip for you all somewhere down the line, not just maybe a couple of weeks ago, when Katy Perry said, you know, she grew up in a religious household. Her parents was religious. She was a Christian. She was a Christian. She said, I was a Christian, and I sang gospel and everything, and that just didn't work for me. She said it didn't work for me. So I sold my soul to the devil. And she laughed at it. But she was telling the truth. And so when I saw this latest video of Katy Perry, I'm like, what the fuck? Justin Bieber, Yummy video, has a meaning to it. They broke down the meaning. I listened to it and I said, it makes sense. Ariana Grande, this video, as if they was trapped. And this is the video they doing now again. Are they doing it just for artistry, imagery? What are they doing it for? You know, some people say, hey, it's just artistry, it's just imagery. You know, it's just a video. We do it for shock value, right? Shock value. God damn. Shock value. Oh no, this is just, no, I think it's a little more. Remember, your mind, manipulating your mind to think that some of this shit is the norm. Also to influence you to, and is basically inciting violence or criminal behavior, the music industry, right? So we have to be very careful with that. And her video, it was like, whoa, you know, blood all over the face and doing this little ritual. We watched ASAP Rocky with the pentagram. Those are just some signs. Like I showed the signs the other day. And we gonna get a little more into Aleister Crowley. The reason why I'm holding off on this is because I'm trying to break something down simple and upload it, you know, that you could just watch. Something very, very simple. Because these lives are just for me to connect with you. You know, I don't get no knockdown views from it, no banging views. That's cool. I'm connecting to my people. We just having a conversation. The engaging in the chat is me conversing with you all, right? The engagement. Make sure you hit this like and make sure you continue to engage. But I'm about to go work the algorithm because everything is algorithm, right? And I'm about to work the algorithm real quick, but I'll still be here. But I wanted to see how I could get to introduce y'all to Aleister Crowley for y'all that don't know him. And I just wanted a short clip. See, and I was working on just short clips, trying to piece it together so I can do this. Music is enormous too for the other side. We all love it. Yeah, we do. Again, we love entertainment. But again, we got to watch what we love. We have to watch what we love, okay? Because some things we love, like, you know, they say this, an old saying, everything good to you ain't good for you. That's even the entertainment. Everything's good to us is not good for us. I agree when the trash also spirits and people remove themselves, I welcome and applaud it. We are not the same. Exactly. So it's a lot of stuff that, you know, Jay-Z loves and see, that's why I was looking for you. I was looking for you because I hadn't seen you, and I know we connect when it comes to this. You, Kimberly, and I, and Monty, and there's some other people. who knows where I'm coming from, who knows what I'm talking about when I speak about the demonic energy of the music industry. Jay-Z love, do as thy will. Nah, we always say do God's will. God, have me do your will, not that as I will. But what happens when we do as I will, our will, like what we want to do, it doesn't work so well for us. But again, the devil glamorizes things to make it look good, make you feel good. That's not good. Jewelry, cars, big houses, flashy money, all that stuff, nice clothes. It's okay to have those things, but you don't be a glutton of those things. And the music industry shows every artist as being successful, and they're not successful. See, they owe that money. They not as successful as you think. No, they sold their souls and they have to pay the piper. But they glamorize it because they trying to win more souls. I'm over here in Los Angeles. They flock to this over here. Oh, okay. We all have to stay away from low vibrational individuals. They bring dark energy. Yeah, you have to. Even in our life, our everyday lives, you got to stay away from it. Now, it's something about me, right? I've always said this. TC, I've hooked up with TC in real life, you know. Mama Tita, Jamila, and who else? It's somebody else I met. They know who I am. They know what you see is what you get, right? I am very cautious when I select my friends, my associates, or something like that, right? Because sometimes my spirit, you hear me? My spirit don't let me attach with people. I may not know right then and there, and I've said this before, why I don't attach with some people, because my discernment and my spirit blocks those people out of my life. Sometimes when people are taken out of your lives and things are taken away from you, it's for the betterment of you. If you keep knocking at a door and it don't open, walk the freak away from it. Probably what's behind that door is not for you. If you don't get a job and you want that job, it's not for you. Sometimes a lot of times God blocks stuff and we don't know why. He blocked relationships, jobs, opportunities, with jobs that you think you should have, friends. You're not going out. I never forget the time that this man, I was in the store and I was getting my coffee, right? It's for our protection. I was getting my coffee and I had got there, right? Getting coffee and cigarettes. And I had got there, for one, I probably was jonesing for a cigarette. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I had got there and I was like, oh man, damn, I wish he would hurry up. This old man behind here, this Muslim brother, older Muslim brother. I said, I wish he would just hurry up. Now he counting money now. We gotta wait for the shift change and all that, because I'm not thinking you going doing shift change, right? Now we gotta wait. Now this man is in front of me. God, I gotta get going. I gotta get on this road. And so I get to him. I said, let me have this and that and this and that. He said, my sister. He said, slow down. He said, slow down, my sister. You will get there, but God might be blocking something. I said, whoa. I felt like shit. That I was just all antsy and was kind of rude. Come on, yeah, I need a pack so-and-so and then a cup of coffee. That man taught me something that I will never, ever forget in life. That's been years ago. God might be blocking something. So, to even put this in more perspective, I'll get my little smokies, my coffee, and I'm on my way to work. And there's a big accident before me that slowed me down anyway from getting over. I was late anyway. That could have been me. That could have been me. You get it? God blocks things. He blocked people out of your lives. Don't be disappointed if you didn't get a job. Don't be disappointed if you didn't get that date, that man you wanted. He may be like one of those men that we read about. Yeah, you go on a date and they don't see you no more. He chop your whole head and shit off. He just chop your whole body. God blocks and protects us from things we don't need, things we don't even know that's gonna happen. God knows before we ever knows what's ahead of us. Be very careful, right? Don't worry about when people leave your life. They did their time. When they leave for whatever reason, don't chase them, don't beg them. Whatever purpose they were supposed to serve, they served it. Let them go. Just that simple. So I thank God that older man told me that. He was a Muslim brother, older man working in the store. I go in there all the time. He said, my sister, just wait. And sure enough, I'm not saying that I could have been that accident, part of the accident, but you never know. You never know. On us, the hamster wheel, Western civilization, that's right. So that's something that I want to say. Be patient, and everybody is not your friend. We know the Nolan Wells situation. We know the little black girl that these little clear people just beat up, lured her over the house to their house, and then they all on fucking video saying they gonna kill her, they gonna do this and that. Yeah. Know your surroundings, know your friends. When God blocks something, just let it go. Don't keep knocking, don't keep knocking. Let that door stay closed. Don't keep asking somebody for something. You know, certain things just don't do. Don't do. My healing journey began after I got away from what's familiar. Exactly. And God will put us in uncomfortable places as well. Yeah, we'll get in uncomfortable places when he's about to bless us or level us up. Because we always stuck in comfort zone. I used to, oh God, I'm so routine. I've always said, wow, if somebody wanted to attack me, they know I'm freaking routine. So I had to kind of break my routine. I go the same way, come back the same way. Leave the same time, come back the same. So I had to break that up and start, you know, diverting my routes. And not because I thought somebody was, you know, is after me, but it's just good to do, not just be one way, not be so routine. Routine is good, but not always. Not always, you know? So, now, so we talked, there go Kimberly Black's a TC channel. Y'all take a visit to TC if she doing something over there. TC, what's going on, my baby? But Liz, that's probably why I thought about you, because I wanted to get into this occultism, and it does include a lot of industry people. They big into it. They big into Aleister Crowley and symbolism and rituals and even sacrifices. You'll hear them say you have to sacrifice. Now, sometimes when people say that, they don't always mean, they don't always mean like sacrifice a person or something. But some of them have admitted to sacrificing little animals. That's in the Bible. Chickens and lambs and all this shit they be sacrificing to get what they want out of the industry to become bigger people. I think it's something to do with blood, you know. You have that couple who said that, you know, they drink each other's blood. You know, it's just some crazy shit that going. Blood is powerful. You know, we say the blood of Jesus over us, you know. I say it every day. Yep. Say it every day. But so, let's see what else I have. I said this is a variety show. Regina Myers. Thank you, Regina. I told y'all I wanted to do the The casino thing, I don't need to be in the casino. But I wanted to do the casino thing, but I ain't do it because I don't have my, let's see. Now, here's this man here. I don't know. Wait, let me see how long this is.
At level 7.
Oh, no, this something I got, that I ain't even beat for. I don't know. I did. Now, do y'all know this guy right here? Let me see how long this was. I don't like to do long clips. Nothing but the blood. Nothing but the blood. Oh, so check this out. We just did this crazy bone thing. Now, I don't know. This is a big time reverend. He's everywhere, but listen to him. Listen to him. Now, this is the one that said not Kobe Bryant, that LeBron James is scared to retire. He has taken a less deal than he has ever taken to play for the 76ers. He's not getting very much money at all. And so it makes me question, why would he even take that deal? Well, this man, this Reverend G, often come on, he do videos about the secret society, the boule. And of course, he talks about LeBron James is scared to retire because he's going to have to sacrifice something. And a lot of times they say you have to sacrifice a loved one, something that's so dear to you. So let's take a listen to him. Because remember, 1995? Now, he's saying this meeting took place in 1995. I thought Crazy Bones said it was not 1995, but let's listen to him. Let me see. I try to make this bigger, but I can't. I can't. So let's listen to it.
The murder of Whitney Houston, I said it. His days are numbered. And there were rappers there from all over the country. They were invited to the home of Clive Davis, along with members of the CIA, FBI, which they didn't understand why the government was there, including many directors and CEOs of the private prisons throughout the United States was at that meeting in the mansion of Clive Davis. And they were telling these rappers, you need to create songs talking about killing police, calling black women bees and hoes. You need to get more nasty so we can fill our prisons that we're building.
He is not the only one to say this, because Ice Cube also had a very long interview with Bill Maher talking about exactly this, the connection between private prisons and the executives within hip hop.
Let's take rap music. Let's take the same people who own the labels own the prisons. So literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
This seems to be a much larger conspiracy. At this point, I'm starting to believe all of this is true.
Everything is not a conspiracy, y'all. A lot of this shit is true. Crazy Bones said it. Now, Reverend G said it. Reverend G does a lot on his channel. I catch him from time to time. Jill, you have a great day. Have a great day, Jilly Beans. Thanks for joining me and enjoy your new home. So, jails and prisons are stocked. They have to keep them full, by the way. Exactly. Kimberly and all of us was talking about it, Liz, earlier, that they have to keep them full. It's $1 million business. Probably done reached the billions now. But, so that guy, Reverend G, talks a lot. And I think he's a person that studies now. I can't say that everything someone says is factual, because why? I didn't go study it myself. I'm watching videos, and then some things when they say, I kind of look up. I look them up just to see. And if I want to go deeper, I go deeper. Now, Reverend G, like I said, he tells you about the boule. He tells you about the Masons, the Freemasons, and all those other people, the sorority. He gets deep into that, the connections between Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, how supposedly, allegedly, let me just get my sign, child, let me get it. Allegedly, they sacrificed Kobe Bryant for LeBron James to level up. Allegedly. Now, I don't know. They say that Aaliyah allegedly was sacrificed for Beyonce to move up. Rihanna, somebody, ASAP Rocky, we heard him say every time he drops an album, somebody in his family dies. He said, weird. That's coincidence. That's just crazy. He don't understand how that happens. So, I mean, you guys make sure y'all comment and let me know what you think. I think there's some relative to all of it. I think organized sports. Yeah, they said at sports, you had a couple of past sports figures talking about how sports is rigged and how they do things. And like I told you, I watched Kobe Bryant and he always had that white dust. Y'all, I mean LeBron James. Why the freak I keep saying Kobe Bryant? LeBron James. He always had this scary ass man beside him. Don't nobody know who he is. And supposedly, he's a millionaire. He has no family. You can't find nothing on him. But he's always at LeBron's game and said that he knew LeBron. Even when he in high school, he got pictures. And this joker looks scary. Let me see if I can't find him. Let me see. LeBron James. Oh, this guy looks scary too.
He ended up leaving the music industry.
Oh no, that's old. I'm trying to. Listen. I think they all got handlers though. I think this man might be LeBron James' handler. Let me see. I don't see that picture of him and that old guy. It was over on everything be on Instagram. He was going against, he was scheduled to be in court weeks after his accident. Yeah, they say that he was hit. He was a hit, no doubt. Yeah, he was a hit. And hold on, you guys. Yes, they can make things seem like what they're really not. Was Kobe Bryant really going against Big Pharma? See, I don't know. That's what I heard. He was going against Big Pharma. How, Liz, was he going against Big Pharma? Let me understand that. How was he going against Big Pharma? That's what I heard. But that's what I heard too. He was going against a Big Pharma. I don't know. But then they say he was LeBron James. Allegedly, he was his sacrifice. I don't know, honey. I mean, I'm only, again, too, we hear things, we don't always have to believe them, but it's strange that that day or the day before, he surpassed the record and stuff like that, And again, they make shit look like it's real to us. Not exactly Big Pharma, but others that were and are more powerful. Okay, like that. Okay, so, and you think that's why? I mean, that's a possibility. That's still, listen, hey, that still could be what they call a sacrifice, And who is that guy? And Kobe Bryant, is that his name? No. And I forgot the guy. I don't know that name. I'm just trying to find it. I don't know that name. that guy's name, but y'all, he is fucking weird looking. When I say, oh, here he is. Y'all wait till y'all see him. Then y'all can go ahead and comment about it. Hold on. Let me let y'all see him. Just look at this guy, y'all, before y'all say anything, and y'all just tell me what you think. Now, this guy talking about it, but just, I want y'all to look at the guy. Just look at him. Now, I think he been on LeBron ever since he was
This motherfucker's gonna collect his soul.
What do we think, guys? Grim Reaper or just really old dude? LeBron, for your own safety, don't retire.
LeBron
Sold his soul?
Look at James Goldstein.
I don't know about you guys, but this motherfucker looks like the Grim
James Goldstein.
LeBron, it's time to collect the payment.
Now I understand why LeBron won't retire. Because this motherfucker's gonna collect his soul.
What do we think, guys? Grim Reaper or just really old dude? LeBron, for your own safety, don't retire.
LeBron
Sold his soul?
Y'all think that shit weird? But this guy is always with LeBron James. He said he knew LeBron James as a kid. Now they said he's scared to retire because they that man is there to collect his soul. But they said that's where Space Jam, his house was where Space Jam was recorded. They don't know who he is. They couldn't find anything on him. People who research couldn't find no wife, no children, no connection, don't even know where he got his millions from. So he like a ghost. But that guy is weird looking. He look like he looks at LeBron James as if he is he is looking at him like, oh, you sold your soul. It's time to collect. Look at him. And this is his real face because I've seen other pictures of him. But look at LeBron.
Them with magical rituals that got them to that power and riches in the first place. This
Y'all know
guy's
these
name
just
right
these
here is
videos.
James Goldstein, and he wants everyone to think that he's just another everyday NBA superstar who's constantly sitting on the court next to LeBron James and all those guys. But that is not who he is. This guy is at least 300 years old and has a remarkable resemblance to Sheev Palpatine from Star Wars, which was a disclosure movie.
See, this is where I think the shit gets stupid. He 300 years old. So they now see that'd be a little bit too much for me. What else is going on over here? Morris Chestnut daughter Page is a model. She has it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe the guy 300 years old. Sometimes people could get too deep in there. But I mean, I don't know. Hey, they into some shit. But this is that Bothamman set I talked about. Oh, man. You notice all of them? This guy talking about symbolism, like the way they do their hands. See, some people, I don't know what's AI and what's not AI, and I know people spread false narratives. However, I have my own self been reading and trying to research some stuff when I talk about the occultism. And I know a lot of this shit is deep, and I know it is hand signs and different signs that they do. And it shows to whomever that they showing that they pledging their loyalty to them when they do all the hand signs, the all seeing eye. But when I looked it up, even though it's associated with, darkness and witchcraft and symbolism and all that, demonic symbolism, some of them was meant for good, supposedly meant for good. And Aleister Crowley and his Thelema and the industry is using it for dark purposes, for being dark energy, dark magic, rituals, and different things like that. They're using these hand signs. These signs are everywhere though. They on our money, they're on buildings. Like, we think a simple M for McDonald's might be something, the KFC might be some, just these, different logos and stuff. They could be meaning more. Symbols and signs is a major source of communication, right? Like we know they were showing the hand signs, the different hand signs that each one of those athletes did. We know that when they do this, the devil's horn, and all that crazy shit. A lot of artists use that stuff, the all-seeing eye, and they write like that, and they put the little eye through. That's on our money. Y'all notice the pyramid is on our money. And someone took, was it a dollar bill? Was it a dollar bill? This is $100 bill, but I don't think it's on here now. Well, I don't know. But this is 100, I'll see. But they folded up a certain way, and supposedly it was a picture of what happened with the World Trade Center. Was it the World Trade Center or the Pentagon? If you fold it up, it supposedly showed that. I don't know how they did it, but again, most of your large corps have symbols on their signage that has a meaning. It does have a meaning, and we just not privy to it until, again, 911, right? What happened 9/11? Thank you, baby. And they say if you fold up your money, it's on there. But I need to fold those and put them there because I need to use them. But they say it's all on the money, it's everywhere. I know the all-seeing eye is on the money, and they use that symbol a lot. The eye on the bill, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So it's definitely, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's huge. And yes, I do believe to a certain extent that it's certain groups of people that rule the world. And it's not just the Rothschilds, even though they started the banking business. So, they started the banking business. I saw that little documentary, a little piece of where he told his boys, each of them, he started a bank, and he told each of his boys to start a bank, his kids, because that will give them control over the world, right? And money controls the world. Money controls the world, you guys. So that's believable. That's believable. That's very much believable. But I'm interested to see, because I'm interested to see this LeBron thing. I'm not sure why did he go to the 76ers for little money. For little money. He's worked more than that, right? Yeah, he the greatest of all time. And that GOAT thing, the greatest of all time? Yeah, he's won. So why did he go for such little contract? And look where it's at in Philadelphia. Yep. I don't know. But you guys, I've been on here for a while. I said I was going to sit and chill, but I need to sit and eat. I need to sit and eat to get me something to eat. I'm going to drop this link. However, I don't believe anyone will come up. But thank you to the people who hung with me for 2.5 hours today. And let me tell y'all what my plans were to come on here to talk to you all. I'm expressive, right? I'm expressive anyway. I talk with my hands. I remember I got called one time, and I was in a DON's office, and I don't know if I told y'all a story, but me and my charge nurse didn't get along. I'm just gonna say that we didn't get along. Some people have a way of talking to you. And I'm not fucking one of those that you just gonna talk to me any kind of way, right? You're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. I've never taken it. I will never take it, right? I respect you. You're gonna respect me. So anyway, her and I got into it. And I was saying something, and y'all know I move with my hands, right? And my DON was a lady from Jersey. She was a lady from Jersey. And they called me in there, and the lady said that I looked like I was about to hit her. I get hostile. I had my hands all in her face and stuff. So my DON stepped in. She said, wait a minute. She said, no, I don't believe that she was imposing a threat to you, like to do anything intentional to you. She talks with her hands. She said, now I'm from Jersey. She said, and we have a habit, and I notice her. She said, I notice when she talks with her hands all the time. So she probably was talking with her hands, but she wasn't going to do nothing to you. You may have misunderstood where she was coming from, because again, I talk with my hands. Now, I wasn't pointing my hands like that. I was just talking to my hand, and I probably was a little upset, no doubt, and I was moving and stuff, but I'm very, I don't know, I talk with my hands a lot, you know? It's a habit. I've been doing it for years. I'm 64, be 65. I don't think it'll change. Years ago, something happened. Like I said, well, she, you know, the issue was resolved. But needless to say, I left that job. Not because of her. Well, partly because of her and because the shift, the uncertainty, you know. I'm not going to let anyone talk to me any kind of way. You have to respect me for me to respect you. So if you think you're going to talk down on me or talk shit to me and I'm not going to say nothing, you got the wrong person. And some cultures are very strong in talking, and Africans happen to be one of them. Africans are very firm, loud, boisterous sometimes, and they could talk down. And they some, not all y'all, so don't get me wrong. Some of them in the healthcare field be some lazy motherfuckers. Right? Just like black folks, white folks, people just, but that's what I was dealing with. And let me tell you something. Before I neglect a patient or watch a patient get neglected, and you motherfuckers just sit around, don't do nothing, I'd rather leave. I'm not going to even be a part of this team. If this shit is not corrected when I call it and see it, and you're one of them and you don't want it, and this shit, because I have to leave, because my job is to take care of patients, and I do it well. First and foremost, I'm not going to let nobody sit there and suffer. I'm not going to take hours and just, They got a habit of doing that. And they are very heavy populated in the medical field around this area. They are. Thank you, Teav. And before I risk my freedom, I will walk away. And that's how I felt. Before I punch you in your fucking throat, I'm just gonna walk away, okay? But me moving my hands don't impose a threat. That's just something I do. And I brought that up because I was saying this. I'm doing shorts, right? And I know I'm a very expressive person. And it works well for my shorts too. But it's just me. You've always seen me use my hands when I talk. It slows me down too. Believe it or not, when I talk, it slows my brain down. That might sound crazy to y'all. My ADHD kicking and I'll be all, so it kind of slows me down so I can express myself more. You know, get more clarity. If not, I'm all over the goddamn place. My ADHD just keeps me all over the place, right? So that I'll come to your chat. It will be a good topic. What's a good topic? This is good. I could go on forever. Me too. I wish you hit platforms. Most of your large companies have some. I really do, Liz. That's probably why I looked for you, because I know normally when I talk about stuff like this, see, there I go use my hands. I'll try not to. I know when I talk about things like this, you and I are on the same page. You, I, and Kimberly Black and Monty when she's in there, when she's in here. We on the same page. But yes, so I wanted to make sure that I come down here and talk to y'all because I had time today. I had did everything I had to do. I was out all day yesterday, and now I'm home today. I just got to think what I'm gonna have for dinner. I didn't have much to do, so I wanted to get a couple of lives. You know, I wanted to do a longer live today, and this will allow me also when I get off here. It'll generate clips, and then I'll upload my clips, remix and upload my clips. Clips is what's getting you into the algorithm. So I'm trying to get in there. So I was advised by my son who's helping me. He said, Mom, you have to get more clips. You have to get more clips in there. So when you do your live, you know, try to stay on there a little longer. This is advice from him. Plus, I enjoy talking to y'all. I think today was a great live. But it's going to even get greater later because I'm going to get good at this shit, right? And he said, stay on a little longer so you could get more clips, Mom. He said, where you have this many now. I did that Poetic Flacco clip, right? At night, I'm sleepy, like, hey, Mom, you know, do this, right? And so I do it, and it gets 2.1K views on it, right? So that lets you know that that's what's popping. So in order for me to build this up, this YouTube platform up, I have to do some clips. And then another thing too, I need to go out in other areas and drop down and make myself known. Now, I'm glad I said Poetic Flacco. So I'm over at, okay, and make myself known. Let me stop. You know, they go to ADHD, right? Diva always tell me, gee, you go from subject to subject to subject. What you was just talking about one thing, for real, you guys. That's my ADHD that kicks in sometimes. I haven't been diagnosed, but I diagnosed myself because of the signs that I have, right? So anyway, I was over at Poetic Flacco's, right? I like going to him. He's on 100 times a day too. Those people over there who come on all day, they make money with short clips and shit, right? So my son was explaining, Mom, you got to do clips and da. I'm over there, and y'all remember that I told you the other day that video I did with Jay-Z and Dame Dash and everything? It had got like 236 views. Not a lot of views. I'm a little over here, right? And I thank you. Please make sure you thumbs up the video, share it out if you don't mind, and make sure you subscribe. And if you're a subscriber, turn on your notification bell, right? But let's get back into this. Thank you, Kimberly, so much. So I'm over there, and he's talking about Jay-Z is done. You know, and he gets this, he always has this thumbnail imagery with his red eyes and they crying with dark stains, right? So he's saying Jay-Z is done. And so I go over there and I look at the little clip, and I'm like, wow. They was talking about the Drake, the Academics, Charlamagne the God, Jay-Z, and Desiree Perez. The connection. So Drake had this online casino, right? Drake has this online casino deal going called Stake. Make a long story short, because it's long, right? So people were suing him about this casino, saying they was losing money and it was a hoax, it was a scam and stuff like that. So hold on. Drake and Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z, right? Remember Drake and Kendrick Lamar, and Jay-Z said he felt like Kendrick Lamar did a better job than Drake and da. And he's Kendrick Lamar. and Drake and Jay-Z has something going on, right? So come to find out, these two girls who sued Drake used this particular law firm, but hold on, and they sued him. And so when they start researching, for one, the girls had a criminal background, right? They lived in the same household and they were mother and daughter, or they were related somehow. Then the other people who came, because now they want to make this like a little class action suit against Drake, right? They were related. One of the girls' boyfriend filed a suit, and his mother or his family member, something like that. Y'all could go over there and give Poetic Flacco a quick interview because he's good and he comes on all the time. And so anyhow, they related it to Jay-Z and his law firm. So the girls, somehow they saying, since Academic and Charlemagne the God, Academics had got a cease and desist from Jay-Z and them. And he said people was coming to his house. Allegedly, things was happening because he was talking about Jay-Z. And how Jay-Z is going after a lot of people. I'm about to side up a lot of people videos, people who say something, right? That shit dawned on me. Because out of all my videos, right, that I react to, I shout the people out. This dude asked by JD or whatever, asked by JP, as told by JP, sorry. He flagged my video to strike it. So I had an option to take it down, right? Take it down or speak with him. I just took it down. But it was strange. It was the Jay-Z video. So in this revelation that Flacco and them had, Flacco, right? Poetic Flacco, that he had, they had specific people who searched the internet for videos about them to strike them. Allegedly. They have a strike team. And so I wrote to him, I said, wow, this is interesting because I am a little small content creator who did a video about Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and something took place. I said, and my video got a strike. Well, I was threatened. I got a warning that if I didn't take it down within 7 days, they was going to strike my page, right? So I just took it down. Fuck it, ain't making them probably, but what, 2-3 cents? Those little views don't make money. But it's weird because when they start connecting the dots about these women and these men who was filing this suit against Drake, because Drake, is into it with Jay-Z supposedly, it went back to their lawyers. The lawyers that they use to the lawyers that they use for DJ Academics, because I think they filed some suit against him. It was the same lawyers. He showed a Zoom meeting of them same particular women questioning Act about his relationship as far as Drake. But they kept going back to Drake. So then it revealed that they had a strike team. And that the lawyers was connected to Jay-Z and Desiree Perez. And I said, that's some crazy shit. But you know why it's believable to me? Because why would they come over here and how would that guy know? Unless he was scouring the internet. Or maybe he used that, what's in the app that you can see who used your video. But they didn't strike none of his videos. But he struck mine, right? Probably because it's his content. And I thought that's some weird shit. But I believe it. I believe perhaps they do. They say, and whoever this person is, they hired them to go around and look for videos that have their name on it, that has the topics of Jay-Z, Beyonce, and some other people, and strike the videos. And I was like, little old me, fuck, I'm way over here, down yonder. I ain't nowhere near those big people. So yeah, that was on Poetic Flaccos. And I thought, wow, that's weird, but he pumps out a lot of content. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. He does like reactions, or not so much reactions. He does like breakdown of videos that he's seeing. He on all day, all damn day. You know, and I remember that the little guy over in the other sector said that he came from where they were at. Shakim was saying he had came from over there, from their sector. So, but so I was like, wow, they came over here and he threatened to strike it, and it said if I didn't remove it, they was gonna strike it. So I just took it down. It was no big deal. But it's strange. It was only that video, only the one pertaining. They said Jay-Z don't like bad press. He don't like bad press. They said right now, I done seen a couple of videos of people breaking down the falling of Jay-Z now. And they say Beyonce is included. That's what they say. I don't know, allegedly, that both of them. And I remember Bella Sloan. Is it Sloan Bella? Bella Sloan? Y'all know what I'm talking about. She said, she called that very thing. She said, surely another big mogul, music mogul, and his wife will soon be falling. She named him after that P. Diddy thing. After that P. Diddy thing. She definitely named those two. And then you see, I said I thought that it was kind of weird and strange. What is Jay-Z trying to prove? That he coming back doing concerts like I'm the man, or he want to make sure he wanted to see how many people still support him and was behind him, you know, because he's the gatekeeper, he's the voice of the culture. That's what they say. So I just thought it was strange that he started doing music again, you know, and he started answering these people that says, you know, negative things about him, that he said spread narrative. That girl, how they dismissed that lawsuit. Yeah, they dismissed that, and they dismissed it with prejudice. All right, with prejudice. So, you know, it makes you wonder what's about to happen to him. He ain't pleasing the master no more. He ain't pleasing master. See, again, when they use you, they let you level up. And once you reach a certain level, when you think you will become independent, you think you will talk shit to the master, they'll dispose of your ass. And I think a lot of people are getting disposed of. Sloan Bella is over here as well. She's in the Burbank area. Okay. Now, she said that eventually it would be him and his wife. He's going to bring his wife down. And again, I've seen a couple of videos on that. How they lost millions of subscribers over on X. Yeah. Lost millions of subscribers after that allegation and some other stuff happened. She lost millions of subscribers. Of course, he lost. So I don't know if this is a saving face type thing that Jay-Z is doing. That he's, you know, he went on that big 3-day tour, right? Or was he checking oil? You know, I always say check oil. Was he checking oil to see if he still had as many as fans as he had before? Again, Nicki called him out. Nicki called out the industry. You know, she was saying at the BET Awards, you know, they was going to do rituals. And my thing's always been, Nicki, are you repenting? Are you repenting and turning you away from that evil, doing those evils, doing that dark energy, that demonic spirit? Because you were doing the same thing. I have videos of you when it looked like you were doing rituals. You was hooked up in there. So hopefully you are repenting now. Because I hear you talking about Christ. That's the only way you're gonna get out of this, is to repent. Turn towards God and away from the devil. That's the only way. But you guys, I just need to hold on. Check this out, 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. I can't believe I did 3 hours of this. So we gonna hit like 10 more minutes, and then we go get the heck out of here. Now I thought this was interesting too, and I believe this when we go back to to trafficking and different things like that. They said the blueprint of the Playboy Mansion clearly shows a network of underground tunnels. Tunnels. These tunnels connected directly to homes of major Hollywood stars like, again, this is allegedly, this is the writing that I'm reading. This is for entertainment purposes. I don't know this to be confirmed or factual. I'm just reading it. It says to Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, Kirk Douglas, and James Caan. Why would a party mansion need secret tunnels to celebrity homes? The answer is darker than you think. Now, they say Hugh Hefner was the first Jeffrey Epstein. That's what they say. So they must have went to his home and they were looking for something and they started digging up. And this ain't the first time I heard this either. I heard this before, not the Playboy Mansion. Yeah, I heard the Playboy Mansion, there was tunnels in that house. Now, I've heard that before. It's not the first time, but I just came across then. It says, I've been to Jade Inn's house many times and the PB Mansion even more times. I don't think this is true. Jack stayed away from all of that stuff after Polanski. Remember Roman Polanski? So he wanted nothing to do with it to protect his image, and also he liked grown women and not. Okay, so this person made a comment that this is not true. And again, it's easy for you to go on the internet and put anything up there. When I don't find, like I've heard it before though, but again, it's not where I went and confirmed it that it was true. But I don't put shit past them. Remember Roman Polanski? Ew. But I don't put things past these people now. But this person, Summer Bunny wrote, now listen to her name, Summer Bunny, wrote she don't believe that she done been to Jack Inn's house. So who is that? We'll never know. We'll never know. Louis B. Meyer. Yep. So a lot of these people did indulge in doing strange things to little ones. I thought I showed that video of them being at the Playboy Mansion. Yeah, was it the Playboy Mansion? No, it was Epstein's. It could have been Epstein's, one of Epstein's file. And with the little boy. No, it was the Playboy Mansion. He was dressed as a little bunny. And it was a little boy. Conspiracy versus reality, you decide. Use your critical thinking, logic, and patterns of behavior. That's important. Kimberly, you always on point. I love you, Queen. Logic and patterns of behaviors. Patterns of behaviors. That will lead you to make your own decision of what's going on. Pattern of behaviors. Some of these people behave in some strange ways, the same ways, and it's a pattern. And there's a group of people who always follow those patterns. It's a group of people who follow the same patterns. But you're right. That's what I said. I believe is in my, I want to say it says this is for entertainment purposes only. This is reality, first group, a conspiracy. I like conspiracy, but I do want to say this. Conspiracy is not all just conspiracy. A lot of it is true. And a lot of it's been put in our face for many, many, many years. For us to believe that it was just a conspiracy. There's a lot of truth behind this. It's very easy for youngsters growing up to fall into this. Very easy. Especially deprived youngsters. They just want out. People just want out. We all think, even something simple like this. Oh, if I could just hit the lottery. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm paying all my bills, I'm paying off my school loan, I'm putting my kids' college for. If I could just hit the lottery, right? Something simple as that. You got these people, boy, if somebody would just give me money, I could get out this hood, I could get my mama out this hood, I could get my daddy out this hood, I could get my grandmama out this hood. If I could just get a deal. All I do is want a deal. So they sitting around rapping in the neighborhood all damn day. And you got people watching you. You got people watching you. And they, pluck you out of the crowd and say, this is a good one, this is the weak one, this is the hungry one, this is one that we can mold and shake. This one could go for the deal. Look at him, he hungry. He been out here all day, but they look for you. They scope you out. And they know just how weak you are. Then they get you in this conversation and you're like, yeah, man, I just want to get my mom out the hood. We be living in, we got rats and roaches and, yeah, man, we live in the projects down there. Niggas be shooting all the time. My grandma, she can't even come outside. She been in there for 30 years. She stuck in there. And they listening to you and they giving you a drink, making you comfortable. And you like, yeah, they showing you some shit you ain't seen. That's how it's done. They showing you something you ain't seen. You ain't never even taste this type of steak. You have never drank this type of liquor. You ain't never been in no house that even looked like this. You ain't never sat in no car like this. You could have all of this. This ain't nothing, man. This ain't shit. You can have it. That's why we offering you this opportunity, because you can have it. This ain't nothing. This is the way we live up here. You see all these people we done made rich, Young Jeezy, Young Thug, Lil Wayne, Bourbon, all these people you can tell on the artists, Nicki, Cardia, all these people we done made rich. This is what we do. And now we got opportunity for you. We can get your mama out that hood. Yeah. You could buy your mama nights out. Man, you could drive this car. And then, bingo. You have a couple of drinks, you sit there, and you talking, and now you in. But once you sign that contract, you can't even read. You dropped out of school. You didn't read all that shit in that contract, because I'm educated, and I don't read all that shit in them contracts. Stay there. But sometimes you gotta look for that small print, right? Here my class. And then I gotta go like this. What does this small print mean? Oh, that's what they mean. Maybe I don't want this car, or maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I don't want to buy that. I don't want to do that. You gotta read. Typically, the powers that be will utilize people who look like you to scout for people to promote. Excellent statement there. And that's the Jay-Z's of the world, that's the Puffies, that's all of other people, all those people are used as puppets to scout you out. But you know what, sometimes, I remember this was the strangest thing, and I don't know why this keeps striking me as strange, and why it struck me as strange before about Nipsey Hussle. I don't know why this toyed with my spirit when I heard about Nipsey Hussle and what happened to him. Because they say Nipsey Hussle was at a game and he was sitting with someone. And this white man, because the Steens are over everything. If they clear, baby, they the Steen. They own up the Steens, right? Then Steen, that's what the name ends with. The guy we just saw with LeBron James, his name ends with a Steen or a Stein or something like that, the little J boys. And they said he was sitting there and they was just watching this game, and he said this guy came up and told him this was a gift for him. And it was a real expensive watch or something. And Nipsey took it, and he continued, and he was being introduced to this guy by this celebrity who was with them. and he didn't think nothing of it. But at that moment, for some reason, I don't know why that nagged at my spirit. I believe Nipsey Hussle was being set up. I don't think Nipsey Hussle's intention was to make the music they wanted him to make. You know, the music, the violent music. I really think that brother was doing good for his community. And when he didn't follow the program, that's when I believe someone was sent to take him out, because he was trying to build his community. And when he said that guy offered him that watch, and then from there they went to this meeting and he met with these people, and then he went with, you know, the diddler, and then he got this contract and all this, you know. But something that, you know, my spirit about that when he said he accept that watch, because I saw some videos too after that. It was nagging my spirit when I saw it, but after that, I've seen videos where that people approach you that don't look like you, for one. Hold on. That don't look like you, and they approach you with gifts, and they approach you. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know my lips. But they approach you with gifts and stuff, and a watch is one of them. I don't know why they select a watch for you to keep time or know what time it is. Is that a, you know, symbol for know what time it is? Is this time for you to shine or whatever? I don't know, but it's a real expensive watch, maybe a Rolex or whatever. But they say you don't always get an invitation from somebody you know. Sometimes it's just people watching you, and they looking at you, and they waiting to make their mark on you. You know, Scooter Braun did, you know that Scooter Braun, he did Justin Bieber. And Justin Bieber is really mucked up. I feel for him. Just a little kid, you know, and they scouted that baby out by him being online, and scouted his mom out, and they took him and they fucking utterly destroyed that kid. Utterly destroyed him. It was something I'm looking for. They already know about record deals, yeah. So they scout you out, you right, but it's not always who you think. It was something I was just about to go look at right quick. A video, it has something to do with this, them scouting you out. Yeah, that Nipsey Hussle thing, that thing played on my mind, and I don't know why. When he said he took that watch, he took that watch from the people. And after that, his life just went down, you know. And then I don't know much about Lauren London, but I think she's been out of the limelight and stuff. I didn't even know about Lauren London, a beautiful lady, and I don't know what she's doing nowadays. But I heard that Lauren London was sent to him. You know, again, these people are scouted out, like you said, Kimberly. They are scouted out, and it's for people who looks like them, and people that you think that really have your best interests at hand really don't. You're scouted out for a purpose. I heard some of these marriages were arranged marriages in the industry and in Hollywood and stuff like that, which I could believe. I could believe that. And that Lauren London meeting Nipsey Hussle, that was like basically arranged. Now, again, I don't know that to be true. That's just some hearsay. That's just some narrative being spread. I don't know if that's true, you know. But I do know that that happens in the industry, allegedly. You're right, Diva, allegedly. Don't worry, I say that quite a bit, but typically, the powers that be will utilize people who look like you to scout for people to promote their agenda. And it's a serious agenda out there. And they promoting it very well. Like I said, some of these people don't even know. They just being approached by people, and they offering all these good things, and some people take it. You know, you don't have to give anything out your pocket. First, they go fly you here, fly you there. They go feed you in everywhere. And then when you sign that contract, they go back from the day they found you on the porch, found your ass on the porch, and everything they paid for, you go repay them. You know, you go repay them that money back, so you're getting nothing for free. And like Rihanna, I think I was talking about Rihanna before, and I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up, guys, because I'm getting to Rihanna. Hearsay is that Rihanna wants to retire. She don't want to make music, but she owe a debt that she gotta pay. But she don't want to make music anymore. But it's not that easy. And the reason why she's having children is because she thinks as long as she having children that she could nurse her babies, you know, care for her babies, and don't have to worry about it. Don't have to worry about those contracts, but she owed contracts. And she need to fill them. Yeah, the music industry, darkest secrets, and they have a death clause. They have a death clause in their contracts. And so when people die, it doesn't make them any different. They still making money off of them, because what kind of shit is that they have a death clause in their contract? They still making money. Well, you guys, I'm going to get ready to get out here. I'm going to run some videos. I appreciate everyone who stuck with me today. Listen, there's solid 7 people. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like, but you already have. And look out for my shorts. Remember, I'm going to clip this video when I get off, and I'm going to upload some shorts. Make sure you go over there and support my shorts, please. When you see them come your way, hit that notification bell for all videos that I drop, for all. Don't make sure you hit that notification, because I'm going to drop some shorts because I have to play the algorithm now. So it is what it is. But I'm going to drop the link. I think we're good, though. I don't think anyone want to come up, and then you never know. But Liz, I want to really say it's good seeing you, baby, because you've been on my spirit. I'm glad that you are doing well. TC, Kimberly Black, and Queen Diva, my queens of a lifetime. I thank y'all so much for always being here for me. Kimberly Black, you and Queen Diva, you're the best. Let's see. I saw some people come in earlier. I think they might have left, but Tebe Forever, TC, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Jill Comfort Zone, thank you so much for stopping by. And smooches to you as well, Libra Butterfly Creole. Thank you for stopping by. Those are the ones that I know dropped down. Regina Myers, you always hear from me. I thank you for your commitment to my channel. Thank you very much for always being there for me. Tay Jill Comfort Zone. And I think that's about it. If I missed you, Regina Myers, I said that. If I missed you, charge it to my head and not my heart. It's not my attention. I appreciate you all. Next week, we going to get into Aleister Crowley. I'm going to get in here and try to find some shorts and get them done. Listen, don't forget to look for my shorts and like them so we can play this algorithm game, and I'll be back. But until then, I hope you all have a blessed Sunday, and your week coming up is a blessed week, and I appreciate you so much for your support, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Yes, Miss T, flip side. That's my stuff. Flip side. See y'all on the flip side.